Welcome to your weekly edition of Allegedly, starring IGP, Icy Caress, a cat, me. Oh, there's nothing on this. There's fucking. Gotta clean that up. So far, we've only covered YouTube. YouTube and the upside-down nature of it, but let's take a lovely little wander, a stroll, a waddle and a walk toward the direction of a Kickstarter drama. A Kickstarter drama that's, full enough, about what's on my screen. Chances of that. I think it'd be 24 hours playing a scaly boy that flies, but as it turns out, the game wasn't even out before the drama started. Imagine this, a lovely, lovely game where you can, and I quote, play as dragons and elementals. Survive. You come into the world as a hatchling and must eat, drink, survive, and grow to become an adult. Online multiplayer. Play with other people. Huge mega map. Special abilities. End game. Become an elder dragon. That sounds pretty cool. That's what was on the Kickstarter when it launched on September 2nd of this year, and they only asked for a modest goal of $12,000. It's not bad. See a good idea, think, oh, I want a piece of that pie, want to go, that's nice. And when it's just an idea, kind of harmless, maybe the developer doesn't quite get there, it's only 12 grand. I mean, if I was given the 12 grand, I'd want a fucking good game. But when it's crowdfunded, for God knows how many people, innocent. But anyway, it didn't go in that path. No, instead of just making the $12,000, or as opposed to it making none, it made $500,000. Because that's a lovely game that I think many people would want. It's a game. It isn't a live service. It isn't some pick up a gun and shoot a dude called 720 no scope had your mum in the down. It didn't have any of that. I don't know what had them in the down means. It's probably an Aussie expression in my head. You have to ask them. It's a game. You go flap when you're a dragon, you're going around, you're eating them fruits and you're eating that deer. Ah! Yeah, you're having a good time. That sounds like a good game to me. $500,000, probably because it captured the imagination of people going, oh, that's a great idea, I'd quite like some of that in my life. They made a demo. And when I say made, I use that term loosely. That was nothing other than a store-bought asset flip. Now, as you can imagine, if you were someone that asked for 12 grand and got 500, your dick would be pretty hard and you'd be flying for a couple of days. You'd be thinking to yourself, how do I make the most of this, not let this slip through my fingers? That is, of course, if you started being possessed by the devil halfway through that thought. How do I not let this slip through my fingers? Because, you know, as far as money goes, that cat's scratching my roof. He's eating the foam triangles. How do I not let this slip through my fingies? I want to keep hold of this one and make the most of it. It's not going to happen again. That's fair. I'd probably get swept up. I wouldn't know how to handle that, how to react. However, what I probably wouldn't do, upon already receiving fat water banging cash, is start throwing out a bunch of extra tiers on the Kickstarter, on and on, with more and more options and slots, over and over promising, and going little bits mad and allowing the scope of the game to grow out of my reach. Get Days of Dragons PC, Steam Early Access, thank you email. I've been frothing at the gas to spend $225 for a thank you email. Grey Dragon skin, Dark Elemental skin, Bioluminescent Dragon. $225, you get some microtransactions for cosmetic skins. And you can get the game and the Steam Early Access for the same $15. Pounds, $20. What's the other $205 for?
He's had fucking people's pants down, hasn't he?
He's had them down and he's had them to the dry cleaners, he's kept them in his own. He's wearing the pants, and been that down. Like, I'm looking at this, and the last 3 tiers have a $25 difference, and it's just one singular skin missing each time. A skin, and not even a playable different model with skills and abilities and what the hell else that you can imagine, because that's all you're going to get is imagining. The thing could do. Shut the fuck up! So taking into account that I could feel somewhat bad for the initial thing, the freak out of what do I do, how do I handle this, where do I go from here? Considering how they handled it in the worst possible way and went about everything that they did after that fact in just the singularly most simultaneously defensive and aggressive way possible, I But before the developer outs himself as a raging troglodyte with the temper of a 12-year-old and the brains of a younger, he started that Kickstarter with a company called BeAwesome Games. It's cute, it's very original, proud of you. You just come by yourself, a whiteboard with 2 suggestions, bit that one, good. What was the other one? Kinda cool. The company wasn't licensed. It was not an official LLC. So, all of the $500,000 doodahs, those dingle dangles, went right in to a singular individual's pocket and bank account. It did not go into an actual corporation's account. As a 12-year-old Twitch streamer trying to make it big and bang it hot could tell you, you're going to lose a lot of that on taxes. You're going to lose probably about 30 to 40%. It would be 40% in the UK, I can tell you that much. It might be 45 at this point. I don't know. Boris is nuts. He's not a man that unscrews the jam jar by just opening it. No, he gets a sledgehammer and he goes, that's his jam for the morning. So then professionalism started immediately. And granted, you could say, you know, inexperienced, didn't know what he was doing. But at this point he had been working on the game for apparently 2 years. And I do say apparently. We opened this with the show being called allegedly for a reason. It's going to be my favourite word, set for Minge. Do you like that one? Fucking putting down. I have a rather large amount of notes about this, because now we're doing the story as of it being launched and the things that happened along the way up until today. And there's many. It involves a good man named Icy Caress. You remember him from that intro that was just stellar, I'm sure. And IGP. Both were involved heavily. Does not involve the cat. That was a lie. So I should say that IGP did state in his video, he started off saying there is no intention of defamation, and he's in no way trying to do that. And he reached out to JO for interview and comment, which he refused.
I only want to do that with someone supportive.
Which apparently IGP won, because he dared say a negative thing about a game that's not a game. Truth? About my game? Hell no, sister. Get the fuck back to the ghetto with that shit. I'm a pop a cap in your ass. Bitch. Even IGP says he doesn't think the game is a scam. He says it is not a scam. Again, as you'd imagine, this will come back pretty swiftly in another segment where I say that, oh, but the guy thought it was. Acknowledging the fact that the game is an asset flip up front, because the demo that was given out to everybody that supported it via Kickstarter, they got assets that were just on a store that you can buy, put together and make a game with, and they didn't make anything other than what the things were when put together. They basically got 4 Lego bricks and said, I made Lego. It ain't slander. And it ain't libel, because I'm not writing this down. The game, proven by fact of basically doing a Google, is an asset flip. I just want to fucking move it to that monitor!
Window, tooltip coming soon.
The fuck does that mean? Is that early access? You don't know what windowed is? Clearly, where's me fucking bar? This is not part of the planned video. This is just happening. I'd like to be a plasma dragon, please, Dad. Oh, well, the camera has gone through the floor and I can see the sand dunes. Massive open world, huh? I'm going to do my best to never go in this water again. It is the slowest thing I've seen since geriatric sex. As far as a massive open world goes, where you can do what you want, I'm not feeling that right now. If I walk, I follow through.
Give me some warning.
Oh, at least there's more than one load of shit in the room now. I'm reading on Steam, TearofGrace now owns Day of Dragons and I feel sick. So that was the lovely game people paid $500,000 for. It's been in production for 2 years already, and as I said, everything is just an asset flip. Everything. There is nothing unique in that game that has been made by JO. The demo's code is entirely blueprinted. It's got 4 lines of, as said, custom code that don't do anything. One of the Steam terms of service is to on the store page, not talk about promises of future content and, you know, sell the game that's early access as what the game currently is in early access. So you'll be happy to know the thing on the website is copied and pasted right here and speaks of mythical creatures such as giant elementals, not in the game. Features will include single player mode. There isn't even that! Growth, you're tracking growth over time. So it's part of me if I was getting off and wasting money. And bear in mind, his original goal was $12,000 only. It becomes a bit baffling. He's suddenly started saying such lofty prices and things were going to cost so much. See, again, $12,000 was the original asking price for the entire thing. He made statements such as, regardless of the funding, the game would release as is. So he clearly had a goal in mind and a plan of when he'd be able to release it. Even if back then it still was just going to be an asset flip, who knows? It's not the first time something like this has happened. But it is one of the louder cases of this happening. His quote here is, maybe I find the voice line for this and put it on instead, but I have it written down, so I'll say it myself, just so Luke can hear it. Textures, animations, sound effects, particle effects, visual effects. I mean, arguably that's particle effects as well. It would be in visual effects. You're not that smart, so I'll let you off. When it's totaled up, it's going to be about $10,000 each. So with 30 dragons, there's 300,000 of the 500,000 of Kickstarter funding. The soundtrack's like 30,000, so more like 35,000. That's just for the dragons and soundtrack. Then there's the lawyers. Oh, you need a lawyer, J.O. What's that about? Thinking about countersuing? Protecting yourself? When people accuse you of selling someone else's work? Or is it to take legal action against others preemptively, like you did with IGP and Icy Caress? Or at least that's what you threatened to do by sending your community members to say that you would be sending them a cease and desist. And then he says, accountants, which if he had in the first place, the rest of this wouldn't have to be said. Taxes are about 30%. How much money do I have left after I've done all this stuff? If you had an accountant, he would probably have advised you to start the limited bloody company, so nearly half, of your money wouldn't end up going to taxes. You unprofessional, borderline fraudulent fuckhead. But let's not harp on that last bit that I screamed about. Let's just focus on the original goal being 12 grand and apparently the average dragon costing about 10 grand. Really? How's that work? Please tell me. Mister, you've been working on this for 2 years and have nothing to show for it other than assets that other people have made and sold to you, which you bought and then essentially wrapped up in a nice imaginative idea and marketing campaign to then sell and make more money yourself from. You fucking fraudulent bastard. I don't know if you say, oh, that's defamation. That's slander. Can't have that on my nose. We have the facts! It isn't defamation if I can prove it! In a court of law, it is on you to prove that I am defaming! I can't wait for you to prove to me that all these things that are factually accurate are no longer facts. Please. As the cheerleader film was called with Kirsten Dunst, bring it on. And he had the balls to lie up front about a whole bunch of bullshit. J.O. said on the Discord, the map you see on the store is a placeholder and not licensed to the game. But he follows up with the dragons were made for the game and were licensed. It's on a storefront. You bought it. And there's the dragon. Made for the game, were they? By that do you mean it was made for you to buy and then put in the game? Because that's factually accurate. But it's not factually accurate, it's made for your game. Oh, silly boy. You playing that, huh? You can lie on the internet? Absolutely fucking disgraceful. You lied to the people that paid you money. An exorbitant sum. Pretty much 500 times the amount that you asked for.
Except it's actually only 50, you mathematically challenged idiot.
And you have the gall to lie to them. Falsely promise them God knows how many things, and basically present a massive opportunity for you to get rich off nothing. J.O., with no links to previous work, or any proof of your ability to work on the things that you say you can. You're an online ghost. Except for in the Discords, which you had. I say had because it's currently shut right the fuck down. You know, the place where you took calls and took questions and then aggressively argued against anyone that would show dissent and question you. As an example, here's a quote. Seeing as lovely Joe takes constant offence to claims of him being a money grubber, I can only assume someone being so defensive about that would either A, have a game to show for it, or B, is that and doesn't want to have that exposed. Someone calls me out on something, let's talk about it. Why don't they come into my Discord, get into a chat channel with me, talk to me face to face, man to man, a woman to woman, whatever they are. You want to say my game's a scam, you want to call me out, well I can call you guys out. Almost as if that was the precursor to him hard-coding Icy Caress's and IGP's names into the Steam database so that they could never launch the game successfully from their Steam account. That happened! And is a breach of Steam's terms of service. The rule reads as: cannot prevent the user from launching and playing the game offline. Yet when Icy Caress tried to open it, there was just this little bit of a problem as it seemed to be crashing every time. And then he used another Steam account and lo and behold, my God, I'm playing Day of Dragons, the best game of the year! Now you have to brace your ears because he's bolded and underlined this.
Day of Dragons, BeAwesome Games, and our development team
Which is me and my fingers.
are not currently and have not previously violated any Steam terms and conditions.
But he has, as we have proof. He does not provide proof how he hasn't, except for the fact that he's since fixed and covered them up. If only there was a way back machine, which I could use to see things that were already there. Or the video that Icy made that you're reacting to and getting mad about. Here's a quote, however. Not just the one that foreshadowed him being a petulant, silly boy. Here's him interacting with someone that was on call, who you can assume to be, you know, a supporter, because how else would they know about it? You know, having a little chat with Joe himself. You say your dragons are custom, but they're store-bought assets. Immediately, Joe comes in. It's not a scam. I don't put tears in my eyes and just scam people. To quote the caller again, all of the coding in the game right now could be interrupts. Who are you? He then accuses them of maybe being another game developer. I'm here to be interrogated. If you were the legitimate concerns, I'm here. Guy's an asshole. That was in a voice call, a voice chat in his Discord, I do believe. It was recorded by someone else, not IGP, not ICCrest, just someone that was there. He also has a habit of screenshotting users on Discord to show the other Discords they're a part of and starting witch hunts with his lovely supportive fan base, which he basically uses in a cult fashion to aggressively belittle and destroy anyone that shows any dissent toward his lovely project.
I'm actually struggling to give him the benefit of the doubt on anything.
Why would you? The evidence, fucking. Evidence is pure and fucking right there. There's no denying it. If you've been working for 2 years on something, the only thing that is not pre-bought, pre-made, pre-coded, pre-done, blueprinted is, again, 4 lines of code that aren't active doing anything, it's gonna arouse suspicions all on its own. How about when you start taking $500,000 million from people, and then you get defensive saying, well, these things aren't custom. Where's the custom one? Get out of my house! I'll fucking have you in your party! I'll have your little Bobby in my mouth! That last one was ill-advised. Bobby is slang for Willie. Oh, dear. Dear mother of God.
Can't wait till we get Hastings and Ray Romano in the same room.
Oh, maybe Ray Romano's going to get into a Discord chat with him one day and ask him some questions. Excuse me, could you please tell me where my $225 went, please? Get out! I'll have my billy club right up your bollocks! I'll invert your wee so far you'll be shitting out your dick. You'll be weeing out your little bum hole. I'll have your pants down so far I'll be wailing them there, Chuck. And I'll have your Discord account banned. You will fear the wrath of J.O., who has a change in accent on a minutely basis. I will instill the fear of God in you in a cease and desist that doesn't exist, because I blew all the money and I don't have a lawyer. I think I've got Irish now. So to sum up, it started as a lovely Kickstarter that could have just been a scam for a small amount of money that blew up into a large amount of money, and he's still keeping the act up. I would love to give him the benefit of the doubt, but as Luke said, there's nothing really to base any faith off of, other than the idea of there's good in humanity. But rapists exist, so I think thieves do as well. I think J.O.'s one of them. But wait, there's more! J.O. abandoned his Discord server, changed his name, pretended to be someone else to throw up sympathy. He announced a new dragon as a Kickstarter treat. There was another store-bought asset. He got angry at Sid Alpha for showing his name. That was already public information.
Which is also set himself on dev streams.
He attempted DMCA takedowns of IGP and Sid Alpha's videos under massive false pretenses. And someone linked to him directly is trying to dox IGP, Sid Alpha, and ICCrest. All that in less than a month of me recording the original bit. That's a month of Day of Dragons drama. A month! And I could go into more detail for it, but you know what? Quite frankly, it's not worth my time. The game wasn't. And this subhuman speck of shit on my shoe also fucking isn't. The fact that he pretended to be somebody else in Discord after changing his name and just abandoning his community that he had. Shameful display. The new dragon, I can only assume is new and a treat because he found another asset that he could buy. Astounding. As for the fact he got mad at someone for saying his name that was already public information is the same as me getting mad at someone calling me Brett when it's on my fucking Twitter handle. Twat. These are the reasons for which he DMCA claimed something. You know, the thing that's usually for, oh, if a film's been uploaded. You know, things where fair use, open critique doesn't come into it, which the videos he's claiming definitely contain.
The video in which our copyrighted artworks are shown is a monetized video made for a commercial purpose to bring revenue to the YouTuber and not to BeAwesome Games.
Well, upload some YouTube videos then, you fucking prat.
Pretty sure you've made enough money robbing people already.
And the rest of the points are just, they used our artworks and said we didn't own our artworks. Which, at the time of the video, they didn't, because the artist wasn't officially hired, and therefore it wasn't officially licensed. But apparently Jo thinks that he can just, use DMCA claims to just say, oh, that information is outdated. If that's the way it was actually used, no YouTube video would be up for more than a day. Because the truth is, you didn't own that artwork officially at that time. You did later. Just as your company was not licensed at the original time of that video, and it was later. It's as if you think just by making something now the way you want it to be, it means it never was the way it wasn't before. And also in this DMCA claim, he starts to self-lawyer. He just gets real armchair lawyer about it and then puts in the email, I state under penalty of perjury! You high? Watching too much Better Call Saul there, dude? It's a good show, but I mean, it makes me sad knowing you've watched it. It's tarnished it for me a little bit. It's like when that kid with the weird lip ate the soup. I don't want that soup. And then YouTube responded to him. Hi, BeAwesome Games. We are very concerned that your copyright notification may not be valid for some or all of the videos identified in your notification. Imagine getting smacked down in the first line of a YouTube email. So that about rounds up the DMCA thing. He's just the stupid kid that was like, oh, no toys! Even though it's not a toy, but he treats it like it because he's got the brain of an actual Sputnik. But on to the nice one, the depressing one, you know, the bit where someone linked to Jo is trying to dox all three individuals that have been publicly criticising him for his bullshit. It's not a good look. That's just unprofessional, pathetic and ridiculous and stupid. So you know what I figured I'd do, Jay, at the end of this, as it's quite abundantly clear to me, after giving you the inadvertent benefit of the doubt of time, by this video being delayed so much, because I'm a stupid, useless piece of poop. The only update you've put out being just another asset flip, I figured I'd do the math for everyone. Seeing as you got $530,000, let's see how much you've spent according to that, and we'll see how much has actually gone into the game that people are playing, because you sure as shit ain't making it. So, we've got the most recent one, which is $19.99, so I'm just going to put 20, because who the fuck wants to type all that? We've got 155 for the forest map, 82 for the desert, we'll add 137 for the other map that I still haven't seen and I'm sad about, well that's 45 for one of the dragons.
Oh no!
Move. I need fucking ethnic cleansing. Then we've got 45 again for the dragon, and 45 again for another dragon, because he bought them all from the same vendor. Apparently we've got 14 for a stealth mechanic, 37 for the menus, and then we've got damn near 60 for what is apparently a dialogue system that's definitely not being used by A Smash My Gran, 30 for some dragon IK? I don't know. Was it IDK? Fuck that stands for. And we got 27 for the quest system. £9? That's 762. So give us a sec while I just run that through the dollar device. So that in dollars is 990. So I'll do you the favour of banging that up 10, so a grand. The 530th of the Kickstarter funds has been spent on the game thus far.
Assuming it really is nothing other than an asset flip.
So, the fact that you have generated more drama and negative PR and attention for your game than you have actual things for the game with the money, and you've only spent a 533rd of said money on the game, oh, it does make me think that when you keep opening every sentence of any questioning with the words, it's not a scam, yeah, it was, wasn't it? It really probably most likely in all likelihood allegedly was. Fucking mine you. What are you gonna do about that?
Help.
So as I tried to do with all this update thing that I did not want to be longer than the bloody core video, which it could have been if I'd actually gone into depth with any of it and not just put it all on screenshots, I will do my best to keep this like me in summer. In shorts! It's infinitely fitting. You chose to try and make the game that you did involving the lovely dragons because it perfectly fucking suits, goes along with and matches your flaming bastard personality. You are a shit, your game's shit, and you will perpetually and forever always be pieces of shit. So I'll end this with some juxtaposition. Given past behaviour, I guess I can look forward to you probably threatening me with God knows what, like a headless chicken. Well, I guess this would be better if I had a decapitated body. Shit.